This lecture is about high sugar, high fat foods. These are addictive, ultra-processed foods that are among the most harmful foods for your health if you eat too much of them. You don't have to be perfect. There is room for everything in your diet, but just in the right proportion, with the right balance. And it's important to understand what is realistic about foods and weight, about what is going to work. And we know what will work based upon nutrition science studies. It is essential to know about high sugar, high fat foods. These are very weight-gaining, very addictive foods. Many people call these foods carbs, which is really not the right word for them, and I'll explain. These are really high sugar, high fat foods. The amount of starch, which is a carb that's not sugar, is actually much lower than the amount of calories from sugar plus fat. These foods are mostly fat and sugar, with not much of the other important stuff, like starch, fiber, and healthy protein. High sugar, high fat foods are the most addictive foods ever designed. The combination of fat plus sugar is quite literally triggering centers of addiction in your brain. You are caught in a cycle of suffering from eating them too much. And they are damaging to your health, very damaging above a modest amount. They are, by far, the greatest cause of type 2 diabetes and likely heart disease among all the foods that exist. Large amounts will damage your organs by putting fat into them where it should not be. Fat will form around and inside your liver and your heart and your intestines. And this leads to problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other health issues. But the good news is that healthy foods, so healthy starchy foods, vegetables, and fruits, plus physical activity, all together, these are things that reverse these diseases that are so common. Again, having some of these high sugar, high fat foods in your diet is fine. Your body is strong, your body can handle it. This is about balance. But eating them every day or multiple times per day will set you back, and over years will cause health problems. Let's review these foods. Frozen coffee drinks from chain coffee stores are incredibly high in fat plus sugar, 95% fat plus sugar. Store-bought granola, even with the oats and fiber in it, the calories are still mostly fat and sugar. This is added to this food to make it more addictive, so you buy more. Cakes, which many people call carbs, are mostly fat and sugar. Sweet dessert breads, mostly fat and sugar. Very few of the calories are actually coming from starch and protein. Ice cream, which is a nice thing to have on special occasions. It's important to know that the fat and sugar will really make you sick and cause problems if you eat it too often. Cake donuts are mostly sugar soaked in oil. Frosted donuts, these are not carbs, but they are a fat and sugar source. Muffins, just as many calories come from fat and sugar as come from starch and protein. Pies are very rich in fat and have plenty of sugar. Cookies, which are not a carb, they are mostly fat and sugar, lots of it. Even cookies that sound healthy, like oatmeal cookies, about half of the energy is just fat and sugar. Scones and other pastries are mostly fat and sugar. They are very, very dense from all the added butter and sometimes oil. Chocolate, many call a carb. More than half of the calories are from fat. and the rest is sugar. Peanut butter chocolates, mostly fat calories and lots of sugar and very addictive. Even many quote-unquote healthy cereals that tend to have lots of added vitamins and other things added to them are nearly half of the calories from fat plus sugar. And snacks that are marketed as healthy, like this product here, half the calories are just fat and sugar. Granola bars, it's the same situation. And nut bars, which are very heavily marketed as healthy stuff. But far and away, most of the calories are from fat plus added sugar. Nuts are very high in fat calories. They are health promoting, but these nut bars are very high fat with a lot of sugar. These are not health foods. Trail mix, which is not a processed food, but the mix of nuts with lots of fat and often sweet things like chocolate make it a high-fat, high-sugar food. It's not a protein, as many people think of it as. You don't have to be perfect, but a long-term goal is to have 1 to 2 servings of foods like this per week. This might take some time, but it starts with cooking and eating healthy meals to get control over cravings. And most important of all, eat large, healthy meals of healthy, starchy foods. Plenty of fruits and vegetables to control your cravings.